So we're that nice little stepping stone of people having a desire to be healthy. There's so much more now in the public consciousness about looking after ourselves. But sometimes pain and injury just stifles people. So yeah, we're very busy and there is high demand. We're still growing. We've been in that location 7 years and we're still steadily growing. We've got a little bit more capacity to fill in the building, and I think we'll keep growing until we're completely full.
The kind
So go on, Paul.
have the kind of injuries changed over the years? Are the kind of things you're seeing the average client go through? Has that changed? As you know, as you say, that the people's priorities have changed. Have the kind of issues you've been seeing changed alongside that?
The only big shift I've noticed is since more people are working from home. So up until COVID, I would have said no. Despite treating lots of people who enjoy the gym and enjoy running and enjoy being active, we actually don't treat a ton of sports injuries. We occasionally see someone who's busted their knee on a football field, but generally it's just normal people who happen to like being active, but have just hurt themselves with normal living. The only big shift in the patterns we see is when people work from home more. And if people don't already have one, I tell them to go, if they're working from home regularly, I tell them to go and get a step counter, just some sort of fitness watch. And many people are doing less than 2,000 steps a day when they're working from home. And they're just not popping out for a coffee. They're not walking to see their colleague. Everything's on Teams call. And that really is harming people. And so many of my patients, these exact same people who are doing 2,000 steps a day, they'll hurt themselves doing something. So they'll come and blame, they'll come into the clinic and blame the thing that they were doing. So I have to keep having this conversation that it's the not doing that primes their body to be injured. And yes, they injure themselves doing something, but it's because they've become what I call an Olympic sitter. It's like they've trained their whole life to become the best sitter they can be. And their body is very well conditioned to sitting, which means they're suddenly not very well conditioned to putting something in the dishwasher or taking something out of the car or going to the gym and trying to press overhead. It's the not doing that really is the problem, and then they hurt themselves doing something.
But I had the opposite effect when I was doing a long car journey up to Scotland, because I hadn't driven that long in many, it was like a 9-hour journey. I took it slowly. I just found that it was so uncomfortable being in the car because I just wasn't used to sitting in that position. So the only thing, I got out and went and did mobility, at the service stations. But I thought the only way you can actually get good at this is actually to start becoming adapted to the chair. That's the only way you can get away from feeling awful while you're doing it. So yeah, I wasn't very adapted to it.
I'm like you. I'm the same. I'm active in my job, active just in my hobbies and lifestyle. So when I'm on a course or if I have to go for a long drive, I'm exactly the same. I hate it. But that's a perfect example where the body does adapt to everything you do, whether that's positive or negative. And so many people have adapted brilliantly to sitting, but then that becomes a problem with the other things they want to do in their life.